Well guys, we got a few more stories here, starting with the disgusting and creepy family sex show disgrace I made a video about a week or so ago now. This has actually been cancelled, so I guess you can call it good news. Yes, apparently following public outcry, the Theatre Royal and Tobacco Factory in Bristol cancelled their planned shows, and the Egg Theatre in Bath cancelled public shows in favour of an invited audience, which to me sounds a bit creepy, but at least the public shows are gone. Now, something I do need to point out is their statement on Twitter explaining why they cancelled this, which the Mail actually quotes here. Writing on Twitter, the group, which receives funding from Arts Council England, claimed their freedom of expression has been cancelled in face of anger over unsuitable sexual content for preteen children.
You serious?
Yep, the people involved with this show actually tried to say prancing around naked in front of 5-year-old kids is freedom of expression, if you can believe it. Obviously, freedom of expression does not cover showing 5-year-olds sexual moves, naked adults, or anything like that. In fact, it's pretty deranged that following mass backlash, they actually tried to go there and use freedom of this or that as a defense. I mean, the Mail's first paragraph sums up why it's not freedom of expression or anything like that literally here. The so-called family sex show urges children as young as 5 to explore sexual pleasure, try sexual practices, and draw and label male and female genitals. So where is encouraging kids as young as 5 to do this freedom of expression, because obviously it's bloody not. In fact, I personally think it should be illegal in every sense of the word to do this full bloody stop. At the end of the day, there is no need to be teaching kids this, and in my mind there literally never will be and should never be. In fact, for me, anyone caught trying to sexualise a child should be arrested as a nonce, especially when the child is as young as 5, as this show wants for some sick reason. Now, obviously, the word child is broad because technically it includes everyone up to 17 or so any law about not sexualising children would need to be for kids younger than that, as by 17 the kids have kids these days. I would say it should be illegal for all kids under 15 to be sexualised, but I'm sure 15-year-olds wouldn't want that, so I don't know how they would do it, but they bloody should. And at the very least, sexualising anyone who is below 15 or preteen or something like that should be illegal and involve double-digit prison sentences as a starting point. The same should also be true for any adult found to be encouraging kids to think about or take part in sexual pleasure or try sexual practices, as this show urges them also to do. Me personally, I think it should all be illegal the same way for teachers and shit indoctrinating kids in schools with gender ideology rubbish, which, let's be honest, is bloody rife these days. If someone makes that choice on their own, then that's down to them, but it should never be taught to kids at all. Like, adults should never teach kids about their sexual experiences or be naked in front of them, as this show plans to do.
I don't fucking believe it.
You better believe it, because it's fucking happening.
Now, apparently the people involved with this show and the theatres themselves actually got threatened, which, if true, I don't agree with, because it's not worth giving them something to try and spin this with. As you know, we're 100% in the right on this with our stance, so threats and shit like that are pointless. We literally have the Mount fucking Everest of moral high grounds here, so getting it stopped and mocking them was enough in all honesty. Now though, let's move on to another important story that we've got here, and once again it involves immigration. But this one here shows anyone who didn't know it already that the immigration-loving Tories are literally just taking the piss out of everyone. Well, maybe not Labour voters, they're kinda doing what they want. And actually, at this point, anyone calling the Tories anti-immigration needs their head examined, because in 2 years they've let in record boat wankers and done trade deals that involve migrants coming here with like 10 different countries, from Africa to Asia, and of course Ukrainian refugees. Now, to me and many others, it seems that Boris has ended free movement with the EU to open the borders to anyone else he wants to do a trade deal with at the time. Now, yes, I support getting trade deal done with other countries after Brexit, but surely we have something better to offer than just opening the borders to the people. Well, you would think that, but it seems with Boris we don't, because the latest news states that he plans to do a trade deal with India that would see hundreds of thousands of them come here at least. Yes, yet more stories of imports, all while public services struggle to cope with the numbers already living here, and just weeks after he pledged to take in unlimited Ukrainian refugees. So this story here is yet another slap in the face for Tory voters, because within a week of laying out his great Rwanda plan that just swaps boat wankers for Rwanda's own illegal immigrants, he welcomes 200,000 more through the door. Now, he made these claims while saying that they're needed for IT jobs and programming, which obviously means that wages in that sector will be taking a tumble, as will standards, no doubt. But obviously, even if they did need them, where does he actually plan to house these people when they come here? How does he plan to offer them public services when them services can't do what the people here need already? How will the NHS cope with another 200,000 Indians, 100,000 boat wankers and unlimited Ukrainians when it's already got an 18-month waiting list in some places? Obviously it won't, but he don't care about that. He's too busy selling out the country to worry about the details that's going to affect us peasants. Now up next, I want to mock this former comedian and now leader of the world, Zelensky or whatever his bloody name is. You know, the ponce who sits in front of green screens demanding countries send him money and weapons, with reports suggesting he ain't even in Ukraine, but to be honest, I don't even care about that. What I want to point out is just how demented this whole thing is, because not only is he doing daily press calls when he should be running his country, but he's constantly demanding World War III and more weapons. At this point, with how many bits of hardware various nations, including the UK, have sent over there, they should be the best armed country in the world, should they not? As you likely know, we funneled billions over there, as has America and many others, but this is apparently not enough. He wants more British, European and American taxpayer-funded multi-million-pound donations and has started a social media campaign so he can do it. Yep, this arm Ukraine shit is yet more demands on foreign nations, which the media promote while fawning over him like some sort of cold leader. It's actually getting beyond creepy at this point. Now, his Arm Ukraine campaign does have one good thing about it, I have to say, because it's shit like this that makes people question not only the media's cult-like love of him, but also Zelensky himself. People using their brains is always a good thing in my mind, rather than just buying into the media's narrative every single time, so I'll take that one from this. But you know what, enough of this prick, let's move on to the boat wankers arriving on our shores, which is far more important, let's be honest. Now, of course, we all heard the predictions about the numbers this year, and I actually made a couple of videos on it when they claimed 60,000 would arrive. Obviously, I said that was wrong, and it would be more like 100,000 or something like that, which now the former Border Force Chief is also predicting. Who knows, maybe he watched my video, or he just pulled the obvious out of his arsehole like any idiot should be able to do. But either way, that's 100,000 on top of the unlimited Ukrainian refugee scheme that's going to bring in at least 200,000, I think it was. Then we got 40,000 nurses from the Philippines and at least 200,000 from India, as I said earlier on, plus who knows what bloody else. Either way, it seems we can expect 500,000 or more people to enter the UK this year from all over the bloody world, on top of the numbers that we have coming here every single year anyway. But for the boat wankers themselves, we must remember that Rwanda does not have the capacity to take in 100,000 people, making Rwanda plan completely worthless like I said, while it also destroys any claim the government makes that this Rwanda plan bullshit will actually lower the daily hotel bill, which as you know is astronomical. Yep, the 30,000 here now costs us £4.7 million a day, so we can expect to be paying another £15 million per day for the ones who arrive this year if the 100,000 figure is correct. It's as I've said before, you literally need to send them straight back, regardless of international law or anything like that. The EU's breaking international law, letting them cross the channel, so send them back by any means necessary should literally be our policy full bloody stop. But guys, I'm going to end the video there because I'm getting kind of bored of calling out this government literally selling us out every single time. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next one though.